were both as inept as each other with dancing. That really helped our friendship, I think, and our relationship on screen.
Are we gonna have to leave Belfast?
We'll fight this together. This is it.
This is what?
This is war.
You guys took my breath away in this. I've been playing Everlasting Love on repeat since I saw the film.
Oh, it's a good tune.
Thanks, yeah, great tune.
An incredible tune and just such a beautiful film. Family's really at the heart of this film. I mean, I smiled every time Pa said, if you can't be good, be careful. I'm interested to know, are there any life lessons your parents taught you growing up that always stayed with you?
My dad always used to say that life is not a race to the far end. Basically a way of, it's sort of like, you know, tortoise and the hare type thing, or, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint, I guess his way of saying it. But I use that a lot when you know, especially in this industry where there was years where things weren't going as well, and, you know, you start to lose hope, and, you know, you feel you need to sort of remind yourself of something that, like, if you back yourself, and things will happen, you know. So that's the one I probably use the most.
All I can think of is, like, my mum likes to talk in riddles. Like, I don't know, but she always said this, she always still says this thing about how a galloping horse wouldn't notice, and I think it's her way of just trying to say, don't sweat the small stuff, which is one that just comes to mind right now.
I love that, galloping horse. Buddy's face whilst watching movies was so pure, and I love the scene when you're all in the cinema watching Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Was there a certain movie you'd watch over and over again as a child?
You know, I watched this film, we used to watch it all the time, and thank God for Google, and it took years of Googling and maybe more information being put online as the internet grew, because we didn't know the name of it, and all I could remember from it was that there were like little people in it, and there was a point in the movie when a tree fell and someone shouted timber. I'm not joking. And that wasn't, I used to say, my sisters used to talk about it all the time, going, what is that movie? We have to find out, because we used to watch it all the time. Anyway, eventually we found it from extensive Google search. I've never been more excited texting my sister saying I found out the name. It's called The Gnome-Mobile, and it's a Disney movie, and now we have it. I've made my kids watch it. But we used to watch it all the time. The Gnome-Mobile, that was the one.
That's amazing. You can all just sit and watch it together now. Yeah, all thanks to Google. Yeah. The power of Google. How about you, Katrina?
I think it's probably Willy Wonka was one that we watched over and over and over. It's just, I think it's like a perfect film.
I'll never get bored of it.
No.
Never.
And the original. I just want to stress that. Definitely the original.
The original is Chef's Kiss.
Open up your eyes, then you realize, here I stand with my everlasting love.
Jamie, your singing brought me so much joy. I feel like you're both annoyingly good at karaoke. Am I right?
I don't love doing karaoke. I need to be really pissed, and I really need to be with people that I truly know me and understand me. In saying that, I was filming out in Adelaide, where I filmed this show called The Tourist. It's just come out, little plug for The Tourist there. And I ended up doing karaoke, a slight name drop, coming up with Alan Cumming, who was out doing a show out there. And he said, I'm doing a party at a karaoke place. Do you want to come? And I said, look, well, it's just on a Sunday, we have to bring the kids. So I brought my kids to the karaoke, and they actually sang, with a bit of help with me, from me, they sang Let It Go from Frozen with Alan Cumming at karaoke, and it was one of the best moments of my life. And it sort of washed over them, what they were doing and who they were doing it with. But it was the last time I did karaoke. It was good. It was a good time.
We need that video footage now.
I don't know if it exists.
I'm annoyed that I'm not good. No, you know, singing is not my forte. I have been known to occasionally at the end of a night sometimes join in karaoke, but I don't think anyone's that excited about it when it happens.
It's funny, I feel like karaoke is a very personal thing.
You need to match up. It's best to do a duet. I always think it's best to take half the weight of it, because it's too exposing.
I completely agree. Duets are the way forward. But Katrina, I was living for your dancing in this. Who out of the cast is the first on the dance floor?
I don't know. We filmed this during sort of COVID times, and we've been promoting it during COVID times. So we haven't really been anywhere close to a dance floor. But I think probably little Jude would be the first one up. Yeah, I think he's probably got the most energy out of all of us, right?
I was going to say.
Your buddy from Belfast, where everybody knows you.
Hey, buddy! Your mom's calling you. Yes!
I love how we see Belfast through the eyes of Buddy. I'm interested to know, what's a moment from your career that you'd love to go back and show your younger selves?
It'd probably be like a sort of highlight reel of everything that's happened with this movie, how much love we've got for it, all the sort of madness that's surrounded it, and the awards craziness, you know, that probably, speaking for myself, will be the only time this happens in my career. So if I could have shown that when in those bleaker times when things didn't look like they were going your way, I probably would have helped me to be like, no, look, they're gonna love this thing one day.
I mean, I think if I could have shown myself, you know, I haven't actually been doing this career very long, and it was such a sort of hard journey for me to be able to even get my first job. And if I could have shown myself, you know, just a decade ago that I would be on set with Judy, Jamie, Kieran, you know, I think those experiences with Ken as well, you know, making this film was such a special thing for me. And I think I would never have believed that it would be possible.
And the love between your characters is so strong. The chemistry is amazing. What's the best thing you learned about each other whilst filming?
That we were both as inept as each other with dancing. That really helped our friendship, I think, and our relationship on screen, was that it was as unnatural for both of us to be dancing in time to anything, really. That was particularly bonding. But look, we're just lucky, you know, Katrina and I have a very similar way about ourselves, I think, and, you know, we're both from the same tiny island, and we find the same things funny and make each other laugh and approach the work in the same way. And it really was very cohesive. Like, we were always, every scene we had the similar plan for, a similar vibe for. You know, we were never combative with where we wanted to take the characters in those moments. So it was kind of easy.
Well, Jamie's such an open and generous actor. You know, he's got such a talent, but it's so easy within him. And, you know, it really felt like I always had such a safe dance partner, you know, figuratively and literally. Maybe less so literally, but figuratively, definitely. You know, it was a joy. It really did feel that way. You know, I think from the get-go, we just sort of got along, and, you know, it did feel really organic. And like he said, you know, every day we sort of were on the same page, and we sort of wanted the best out of each scene. And, you know, Jamie's somebody who there's zero ego in his work, which is such a beautiful thing to be around. And it just made life really, really easy.
Well, I just adored watching you both dance. And this is really the most perfect, beautiful love letter to Belfast. If you could go to Belfast with one of your previous characters and kind of explore the city with them, who would you love to take with you?
Well, I've played quite a few characters from Belfast, so they don't need me to give them a tour around the city. But let me think. I'd probably actually take Christian Grey, because he needs to be around people who are fun, and he needs to let loose a bit and have a few pints of stout and enjoy himself.
I mean, I'd take Claire Randall, wouldn't I? Or Claire Beecham Randall Fraser. Yeah.
Why does she have so many surnames?
Because she had a lot of husbands. That's why. You got to watch the show, Jamie. I mean, I think she'd fit in really well there. You know, she gives as good as she gets, and she'd be able to sit down and enjoy a pint of Guinness and a good Bushmills whiskey.
I can so see that, her just necking a pint. Thank you guys Thank you guys so much for talking to me, and huge congrats on the film. It's an absolute masterpiece.
Thank you so much.
Hits Radio.